What's up, y'all? This is Chef 24/7, and this is the first episode of the second part of season 2. Episode 6, I think. Anyway, or 7, whichever one. Anyway, this is the IHustle Podcast. This is the place where hustlers of all types of hustle come around. We talk, socialize, just have a little moment. You hear about them. I open up the floor to them. They testify. They pass the collection plate. You already know how it go. And for those who have been watching, at the end of this season, I have an announcement in regard to podcast future and where we're going with season 3. But anyway, we're about to jump over to my guest right here. She is a beautiful, beautiful soul. She is strong. She can sing. She can cook. She can do just about anything. I think you do taxes on the side too.
Don't tell nobody you. I'm trying to get you the biggest you can get. the biggest amount you can get back. I want to see if I can't do it, but I know somebody that know a brother who got an uncle, granddad who, and we'll talk about it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Chai Toy.
Thank you. I'm so excited. So where do I start? Let's start off with the name. My name. When I grew up, it was Jatoy. Not knowing, most people didn't know it's French. It's Jatois.
Jatois.
Yes, my background is Haitian and Creole. Yes, and
cut and cook.
I cut it. I will quick. I don't talk too much. I'ma listen, but when it's time for me to talk, I don't have that much to say. I know, look, I could cut you. Or we gonna cook about it. We'll get back to that part later. But yes, it's Jatois. And it's to the point now I started correcting people, but now I'm you know what, baby, however you say it, I know you talking to me. So that's where we at with it. And that's part how we get to this point. So this is my very first interview.
What?
Yes, I'm very picky about who I choose to have my space with. You know what I'm saying? I was doing some online radio on the Rabbit Hole with two very amazing gentlemen, Jay Funny and JC. Shout out to them.
I know both well.
Yes, we were doing some online radio and that was going pretty good. But since then, my music has decided to take off a whole lot more, and so has my cooking career. So I had to, 86 that and go into some more things on a personal level. And this is my first interview alone that I'm doing anything in regards to just wanting to know about me. So I'm very excited to be here.
Well, let's talk then. So I don't know if you remember, and correct me if I am wrong. I met you about maybe 6 years ago.
It's been that long. It seems like it's been about that long.
Because I want to say I didn't meet you at a club comedy thing. Were you working at Walmart at one time?
I worked at Sam's.
That's what it was. So I met you back then, but not knowing who you were.
And then guess what? It was longer than that.
Because you told me about music, babe.
Yep, it was longer than that. And it's like we lost contact for several years. Mm-hmm. And when I saw you again, which was like about a year ago, like almost 2 years now, I met you again. It was like, you look familiar to me. I couldn't remember who you was. And then we met through JC all over again. They were doing the comedy stand-up with Jay Funny.
Right.
And that's how we caught up.
So I know it's been a long time since I've talked to you. And I remember even then, shout out to the people that want to be heard.
That's the same guy. Yeah. I think he wants to be on the show.
Yeah, so bad.
He wants to be on the show.
I brought that up to bring up, the first thing you brought up to me, you was a singer. Like, you was on it. Like, you was like, hey, I got some music that's coming out. Just be patient with me.
Yeah.
And I see you now, and you're this whole different identity now. You're this full blossoming, mature, super Nubian, powerful woman over here.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? And I know you got a testimony.
Yes. So we're gonna come to the testimony because it's like a build up whole scenario. So back in the day, I was working like any other struggling person, just have a regular 9-to-5 job, and I did that, and I left Sam's, and I got a job as a branch manager for a finance company. When I was younger, though, outside of that, I've always been in music. My dad was a rapper. I've met people like BG. I rap at the Isley Brothers as a kid.
You got Ron Isley?
I've met various people. I used to go to this guy Don studio when I was a little girl. I used to go to the studio all the time, and I used to sit back, and it got to the point where they used to hear me rapping. I used to rap because my dad. I wanted to be a rapper first. I got bars. I'm not gonna lie, but my dad was like, "I ain't no girl. I need to be no rapper. You need to be a singer." And I was like, "Daddy, I'm trying to, I want to, I want to bust lyrics." And then I came out with a song. Here's the jour. I came out with that last year. My dad was like, "I like it, but again, I still feel the same way, And so that's when I said, you know what? I'm gonna show them I can sing, and my trump card will be I can rap. So that's what I do as far as that. But the testimony to even get to that place, like I said, I was working regular jobs and stuff, and I just started noticing my body just wasn't feeling the same. I started having my children, and I just wasn't myself. Shout out to parents, man. We just working all the time to get things done for the kids or to get the bills going, and you don't have an opportunity to go to the doctor. I don't have a chance to go see about myself. I'm working so very much, and so at that time in my life, I just was focused on my babies. Then one day I said, "Dang, I think my clothes shrinking. My shoes, something is shrinking." I didn't think I was getting big because I've been sexy my whole life. I didn't think big for me. I'm thinking tight for the clothes. But no, I was getting big. And it was fluid. And I went to the doctors in Zachary. I won't say what hospital, Killer County. I went to the hospital back there, and they told me I had vertigo. Well, last time I checked, I didn't know vertigo could make you gain weight. I thought it was just a headache.
I didn't think vertigo made you gain fluid neither.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So I left there, and my grandma, I said, "Grandma, something's wrong." And she says, "Baby, I'm not going to lie. You're getting big. Take some of these fluid pills and get the fluid on you." I was using the bathroom like a horse on the go. I'm taking pills. I don't even look. It's an old bottle when the name stripped off.
I'm just gonna be quiet on that. I ain't trying to reveal all the black secrets, but I know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm saying. When Grandma say take it, you're gonna take it. I don't care if Grandma tell you walk with potatoes in your shoes. You better do it.
Grandma on the pharmacy, low key.
Listen, my grandma done had me do it. Eat the Vic Sal. She said, "Eat the Vic Sal."
Oh yeah.
I said, "Eat the Vic Sal."
Nah. I don't want to take too much from your story because I tend to talk a lot. But when you say eat the Vic Sal,
that's a thing.
My mama used to make a drink almost like a hot toddy, but it wasn't. And anytime I get sick, I've learned how to make this drink, and I still drink it to this day. That's why I don't get sick that often.
Okay, well, are you gonna share the secret?
Yes.
Oh, I'm excited.
The only thing I did different than my mama, I get mint leaves. But my mama used to do sugar, honey, lemon, boil that, and put a half of a teaspoon, like a pea-sized amount of Vicks Vapor Rub, and some Dr. Titian, like a half a cap.
Oh, baby, you ain't sick no more.
Like a centimeter worth of Dr. Titian, and put it in a big pot of water.
Yes.
At least about 4 to 5 cups of water, so it can dilute perfectly and it won't hurt your body.
Wow.
After that kind of forms into a tea, drink that in under 15 minutes. Whatever fever or cold you got, it's gone.
I know it's gone because if you read the ingredients label, half that stuff you're not supposed to swallow.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I do almost the same. I don't do Dr. Titians, even though I've done it growing up. But you're only supposed to use very, very, very little, because mind you, you're using pretty much water drops into a big old pot of water, so it doesn't affect the body. Too much.
So you make it in like a big pot.
Yeah, you make like a little saucepan pot, but you want enough water in there. You only using very little, small amounts.
Yeah.
But I use mint leaves, peppermint, honey, lemon, the Vic Sal, and I do cough drop. But
shout out to this. But when this is over, I'm gonna get that total recipe because I don't know shout out to the bird flu, whatever this year. People have a cough so nasty you think they're back in the Stone Ages right now.
That's why also give me 50 feet.
Yeah, listen, I have an arm to face ratio, especially to my new host that I have in my body now. I have a new host in my life, and shucks. It's like so much to go through to get to today. It's almost shocking that 10 years ago I was on dialysis. You know what I'm saying? And most people don't believe me. I got up to be about 319, 320 in weight just from fluid, and my body deciding that it's going to keep the toxins and get rid of all the good stuff. And I was down for a very long time, and that's how I actually got into doing reels and Instagram things, because death was a real topic in my life. I was trying to prepare myself for death. It went from having dreams to be a writer, dreams to be a singer, or anything, to okay, well, I'm about 25 and I'm preparing for death. I need to have something for my children to see. They know, hey, their mom was funny. Their mom, she wrote a book. I have a book out. It's called Don't Judge Me. It's on Amazon. And I wrote that just to have things to leave with my kids. But my faith in God was also so strong. When you're going through these things, sometimes you're not going through them just to be in a bad place. A lot of times you're going through it because God has something greater for you. You need to get to this first. Your test later is going to be bigger than this test. And I've seen some serious hardships along the way. And at this point now, dialysis almost seems not small at all, but it made me feel like I can do anything.
We still got a few minutes in the first half of the show, and one of the things I do want to bring up, since you mentioned dialysis, I want you to kind of give me a brief description for those who don't know what dialysis is. I know what it is,
yes,
because I have a personal connection with dialysis. But for those who don't know, give them an idea of how a typical day would go before you go on the machine.
A typical day for dialysis is you choose 3 days a week. You can do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. You will have your Sunday to yourself. You wake up, you're there anywhere from 3.5 to 4.5 hours. You have your venous and you have your venous needle, and you have one that takes the blood in and one takes the blood out. It's a cleaning process that you're there to get your blood clean, because your kidneys are no longer processing the ability to filter anymore. It's a terrible process, but it's a necessary process that you have if you're in kidney failure. This is when your kidneys have decided we're no longer going to be able to work. It's about 5 stages to get to that point. Stage 5 is dialysis. And once you get there, the only way out of that is either your body decides to shake back, or you are definitely going to have to get a kidney transplant. And by the grace of God, I was able to get one. I got 6 calls before I actually got the call. And I got my call January 1st, 2020.
That is definitely a blessing.
Yes, I just
About a year later, you know what I'm saying? How is it feeling? How you feel? You feel different, or?
I feel alive. My children, they're alive too, because remember, your caregivers are in the same space as you are while you're going through this. And my heart pours out to people who don't have a support system. It's a very hard life to live. And when you have family that's there to support you, take care of you, they have to see you go through this and be there to give you words of encouragement, even when they're tired. They don't want to see you like that. So my children started going through this when they were small with me. So all they started to know was mom was sick. They had never even really seen me well. And it's crazy because my last child, I actually had him while on dialysis.
Wow.
Yes, I did dialysis during my pregnancy and during labor.
And before we go on break, I'm going to ask you a question on that. How was that experience for you?
To be pregnant on dialysis?
Yes.
That's 6 days a week dialysis. It's exhausting. Time you're very weak. You don't really have a whole lot of energy. And you have to do your very best to make sure that you're able to filter for yourself to stay healthy, to give the baby the proper nutrients it needs, because if your blood isn't right, it affects the baby. And that was hard. I think I'm probably one of the only people in Baton Rouge who's ever achieved this. I've been told that I'm in books now. Yes.
Well, look,
he's healthy and thriving.
That's what's up. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Mr. Chitois. I like that. Chitois. We're gonna talk more to Miss Jotois.
It's a special name. Just
We're gonna
rolls
practice it.
off the tongue.
All right, but we're gonna come back, and I'm gonna share a little bit of my connection with this as well, and then we're gonna talk about her and her chef experience, because we chefs over here.
Chefs.
So we'll be right back.
The circles in my eyes are open wide. Spring. And the beating in my chest makes me alive. My counterparts hold you near, and the pulse of the rhythm lives in my ear. And now I think I'm in love again. I think I'm in love again. And my eyes are open to the scene. This is the climax. I think I'm falling in love with you. Why do you do just what you do to make me fall for you? You pull me in and hold me close. You rock me to the tempo. The staff goes up and trouble's down. You speak so loud. I think I'm falling in love again. I think I'm in love again. And my eyes are open to the scene. This is the climax. I'm falling in love again. In love with you. Why do you do just what you do? Make me fall for you. What do you do? Just what you do to make me keep falling for you.
So what's up, y'all? We are back. I hope you appreciate the music from our break with Miss Jotois.
Shout out to Starbucks for this cake. God
Yeah,
damn.
Starbucks for Roller. Starbucks gave samples and coffee today. This is not sponsored by them. It's just if you got a Starbucks near you, hit them up.
Hit 'em up.
Tell them Chef sent you. They ain't gonna know who I am though. So
Say Chef who?
exactly,
It doesn't
you'll
matter.
find out.
It doesn't matter.
So I'm here with Miss Jotois, and she's been sharing her story, her coming into the music, her love for music, some of her struggles, and one of the struggles she brought up was being a former dialysis patient and blessed enough to have a kidney transplant, but she experienced dialysis for 10 years.
Yes.
So I would normally give stuff at the end of this episode, but because of the nature of this, and I have a soft spot for dialysis patients, and I'm going to tell you why. My mother was born with an irregular kidney. Her kidney was the size of a pea.
Wow.
She was born like that, and she was born in 1955. So think about that. There's a different time,
Yes.
especially for the black community.
Yes.
My mother grew up poor. I grew up poor, but my mother grew up poor.
Poor. Yeah.
Yeah, they lived in the church. They never had their own bedrooms. They used to have separate sheets and all that. And my grandmother, bless her soul, died when my mama was 7 of tuberculosis.
Oh, God.
So my mom used to have what they call a bedwetting problem or whatever, but it wasn't because of that. It was because of her kidney. And she went through a lot of abuse going stay with some of my people. And you don't really speak about it because, it's black family stuff.
Yeah.
But my mama, over the years, ended up finding out she had kidney failure, because of the irregular kidney. So my mom was at that time, one of the longest living dialysis patients in history.
Wow.
She was like number 3 at that time. Now, my mother has passed away. She passed away in 2012. But it wasn't dialysis which took her. It was actually she had a superbacteria. And because she dialyzed, the infection was only going to spread. So my mom was a soldier. I may not have always got along, but I loved the hell out of her.
Yes.
But my mama was blessed with several opportunities in life. And one of the opportunities I was proud of, and despite it's been over 12 years, I even still kept the envelope.
Oh.
And these are cards that they made to commemorate the gift to my mother. For my mother to pass around, and it's been at many dialysis units all over the country. This is my mom's testimony.
Oh my God.
In her own words. She was a spokesperson for the National Kidney Foundation. She was on dialysis for over 22 years. She never had a kidney transplant because even if she got one, her body would have naturally rejected it because she's dealt with kidney problems since birth. She wasn't even supposed to have kids. She has 2 kids, and not counting my dad's children, but my sister and I. She had my sister at 16, and she had me at 30. Once she had dialysis, I think once before then, and she stopped. They told her that pretty much
Yes.
But she chose to have me anyway.
Yes.
And I'm still here 39 years later, going on 40 this year. But that is my mother's story. And that's something that I cherish. Obviously, I carry these around everywhere. And, well, not everywhere, but they stay in my house locked up well. But that was something I wanted to share to you,
I'm going to cherish this.
And it's her story. Like, as she always put, it was like a job. She said the pay,
like a job.
The pay, she go 3 days a week. The pay was lousy, but the reward was life.
Yes.
That was her catchphrase.
I love it.
So I wanted to gift you with that.
As I'm reading it, and I remember sitting in your shoes and having so many questions about the dialysis process. When I first started dialysis, they don't educate you at all. They just kind of throw you in there. They don't tell you what bottoming out is. That's when your pressure just drops to the ground and you're pretty much dying. I've died a total of 7 times on 5 on and 2 off dialysis. You're dying and you're dealing with fluid issues. You're drawing too much fluid off your body. They do not tell you things. And
see, my mama got quick. My mama
have to learn.
There was some days 2 hours. Get me off the machine.
Yeah, I gotta stop. Oh, you didn't meet your time. That's okay. That's okay. I didn't meet it.
But my mom was in at least 8 to 9 different facilities. It was the last survivor of each facility. It broke her heart because everybody who she got close with was passed.
Yes, listen. So I'm not sure how long this had been going on, but peritoneal dialysis at home had been going on because that's just in the stomach. It's more fluid based. But hemodialysis wasn't happening at home very long. And I was blessed to be able to go home and do my own dialysis. The last 4 years, I was doing it at my house. Because of that reason. When you're at the centers, you think it's just yourself. I was the youngest person there. I was in my early 20s. Everyone else is older. They grandkids, great-grandkids. They're dying. I'm sitting next to you Monday, and when I come back Wednesday, you're gone. And I know for sure I've lost a few friends. And I call them friends. Now, they could be my grandparents. And they're gone. I said, I can't stay here. Because if it gets to your head, the body will follow. And I knew I still had to fight for my children. So I said, I'm going to do it at home dialysis. And I'm not going to lie, I loved it at home. I had some serious struggles. I have a video I'm going to share with you. And if you want to add it in so people can see it, I love to let people see the real of this. My dialysis, they popped out of my arm. My tubes popped out. And you have about 3 to 7 minutes to survive this. And my children, they have, thank God, my babies, now there are about, one is about to be 18, one just made 16, my daughter's 15, my other son is 6. So it's X the little one out right now. My other kids, they have been with me so long that they knew what to do in the event of an emergency. And I was dying, yet so proud of that moment. My oldest, he would have come and put the tourniquet on to stop the blood right here. My other daughter was on the phone getting the nurses together. My other son, he was getting my son situated and using his phone to call my sister. She's a nurse. And I'm like, I'm passing out. But I got energy to kind of like, oh my God, they knew what to do. I thank God for the support and the people, like I said, who don't have as much support during this time. When you go to these centers and it's so hard, you just don't know if you want to go back the next day. And your mind says, I don't want to do this anymore. And that's that.
God bless the nurses, because there's so many good nurses in that field, but there's so many people in a unit at one time.
I went to the unit in Baker first, and that unit held about 20 people or more a day, like we know in each shift. And that was one of the biggest units they had at the time. And I shout out to the Baker Fresenius on Rome Road. And these ladies are awesome. I don't want to say the name wrong. Shout out to the center right off of Essen Lane where they teach you how to do dialysis at home. It's an M word. I don't want to say Monticello or Montesino. That's a great place. They were very, very helpful and they teach you really good how to go home. And I've had some amazing nurses and people who just want to help you to survive. The nurses that keep you smiling, the ones that come up with games and to kind of get you through. Because it's, like I said, it's so hard when you don't have them.
I understand.
And this, in my testimony, is beautiful, man. I mean, she held it down. She held it down.
She had worked my nerves, but she was a soldier.
She said, I'm a keeping patient just like you. When people know that, hey, I'm like you, it's so hard to take advice from a person who's never been in your shoes. But to know, hey, I got the scars to show. I did this. You can do this. I'm doing it too. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to have. And right now, I'm in a retirement center. And I don't know, I never even worked at a place like that. As a matter of fact, I have my own private cooking. I haven't had a regular job since 2015, January 31st.
Girl, I'm jealous.
And I said, I want to go back to work. I feel like God has an assignment for me right now. I recently applied for a job, and I went right in, and I told the guys, I don't know why I'm here. I don't need to be here, but I think God has an assignment for me here. And it's the elderly. I love the people, and that's because of my connection with dialysis. I've met so many recently. I love it.
I don't talk about it that often, but I have all of these things that I'm doing is leading to one big main goal, and it's something to honor my mother. But when that time comes, I'll talk more about it.
I'm here for it.
Get myself together, because I like the National Kidney Foundation. I give them credit. They have helped my mom. And mind you, like I told you, we grew up poor, and I'm not talking about people say we poor. No, we was poor. My mama couldn't work.
You are more connected than I knew.
She couldn't work.
I raised money for them.
And when I tell you I've been working since I was 14, that's why it's a 24/7 hustle.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
I had to learn how to cook at 6 because my mom would be sick sometimes. I didn't know she was in a hospital, but she's in a hospital, you know. When you talking about bottoming out, I remember an experience like it was yesterday. My dad had passed, my mom got remarried, and I don't know what transpired, but my mama blood pressure dropped. She ended up suffering a lot of low blood pressure, but one of the things was getting her a Coke.
Yes.
The acid from the Coke and the carb will get you back
They
up.
kind of get you up, yeah.
So I remember she just was laid out, and I was freaked out because I found my dad's body as 5 years old.
Wow.
like I said, that was my first experience with death in life.
Yes.
So imagine how messed up that makes one's mind.
Yes.
And imagine seeing your mother drop it out, just like you had that moment with your kids. Immediately, like I was telling this guy my mom was married to at the time, call the police. You know what I'm saying? Call them 911, get on the phone.
Yes.
I'm looking for something like, I ran out the house. He was just like, he was lost.
It was hysterical.
And I just ran down the street. And my mama friend, God bless her, lived right around the corner. And I'm a fat, chubby, fat boy at this time.
But you weren't
But I ran. And my mom ended up being straight. My mom, one time we thought my mom had passed. Me and my sister on the way to the hospital and we devastated. My mom was sitting up all the time like that. My mom literally had grafts in every part of her body.
Yes.
The last, like she said, if her graft stopped again, they would have to put it in her back. So it's like, that's,
so
it
she
was
had
a
a
lot.
graft. She didn't have a fistula.
No,
See, I had fistula.
Yeah, she had grafts, and you could just see the scars. But my mama was a soldier. She lived even in her last week of her life. My mom had ducked out from the rehabilitation place, got in her chair, ducked off, and snuck out that bad boy with one of the Walgreens. My mama just like to go window shop. My mama just like to get out the house.
I just want to go do something. Let me do something.
And my mom loved that. So I wanted to honor you with that. I know we kind of got on that topic, but
I love it.
I don't care. I can extend this
I'll
episode.
put it in a frame because I think that this is a beautiful thing to cherish and keep. And even if you were to make more copies.
I mean, I got a whole.
But I'm gonna be honest, this is more helpful than you know because, you know, I assist with people at this point, like a small advocacy. Going to people if they do dialysis at home, I come go by, say hi, so they need help getting off the machine or getting on them. I want to give these to some people when I know that they are struggling. You know, here I have something to
Just let her
help.
know, like she gone, so y'all call her and she answer. Let me know, cause I feel like in my head, the way I feel as a son, she faked her death.
Oh my goodness, Mom, I knew it was you. Where you at?
Right.
All of a sudden, I'm in the Bahamas.
One of the funniest things, and it's dark, and we're gonna get back into what you got going on as a chef. But when my mom passed, of course, you know it's sad. But my mom prepared me. Mind you, like I told you, I was 5 when I found my dad. And one of my prayers was, don't let me be a teenager or a child who lose my mom. Let me at least be an adult.
Yeah.
Let my mama grow.
Yeah.
And I was literally at the pinnacle of what I would mature to become. You know, and I remember when she passed, people were looking at me crying. They were like, why you not crying? Why you not upset? Because I had a task to do. My mom trusted me with a task of things to do, just in case her time came. You know, she gave me a task, and I followed that bad boy to the T. The only thing she didn't get was white roses. That's it. Everything else to the T. You know what I'm saying? And I did that because I wanted to honor her. So, as grim as it is, you know, the insurance process and stuff, and you got to take care of all of these fees. So me and my sister were sitting down. My mom used to smell money. It's like she had a secret technique. Like I remember the day she's like, son, give me $20. And I don't have $20. Like, Betty, I ain't got no money. By the end of the day, I got them $20, and lo and behold, son, you sure you ain't got them $20? Like, hell, like,
that's worse than the kids. Mom, I know you got paid today.
Like,
you know,
but the dude is like, okay, so your mom borrowed against her life insurance. I'm like, you can do that? Oh, my mama took her a cut and spent it. And left just enough to bury her.
Oh my goodness.
And split a G between me and my sister.
Oh my
And you know, families take that to heart, but in me and my sister's eyes, money don't replace our mother.
Yeah, nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so me and my sister is laughing at the insurance place as the man is cashing the check and splitting the money down, and we are laughing our ass off. And the man like, what's so funny? Because this is our mama. Like,
She's
our mama from the grave. Yeah, our mama said, you thought you was about to get some money. Nah, I'm about to spend at least some of this. This for me. And that was literally her personality. And it gets down to the last dime, well, the last penny, but it's a penny extra. And it's like, well, which child is going to get it? I said, just give it to my sister. She knows.
You were there about a couple days longer. You can have it.
But
I love it.
I try to honor my mom in what I do. I put her quotes on my seasonings. stuff like that, because despite the fact I may not always been the perfect son to her, she may not have been always the perfect mother to me, I love the hell out of her, and I was always proud to be her son because she showed me what strength was.
Yes.
She showed me what adversity was. Like, me fighting to get some of the personal stuff straight in my life was nothing compared to her every day fighting for her life and her survival.
Yes.
You know, and
when you say about the perfection thing, I think perfection is to the person's best. Cause for many years I felt like I worked so much and I did dialysis. My children, I said, I don't think I'm being a good mom. And I realized that, you know what? My children love me anyway. And to children, the closest thing to God is mama. And I knew I was doing something right because they love me. You children have a keen sense of smell for people who ain't shit. And I must have was the shit because they thought I was the coolest. And so I believe that y'all bunkheads because y'all probably was so much alike. But mom was your girl. And like me and my mom, we'd be, we right here. But at the same time, like, bring it in. The stock, literally.
and I love the fact of the soup. You use what you got, and you can make a soup out of anything. Anything. Literally. What's up, guys? It's Chef 24/7, and we are in line at the Louisiana RetroCon 2025.